All right, you ready to do the top 5 movies of 1987?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, so I think you started last time, so I'm gonna get us started off at number 5 with one that we've discussed before, as usual, and it's a movie we both like. I don't know if this will make your list or not, but it's Plane, Trains, and Automobiles.
No, it did not.
Okay. Yeah, this was at the top of our Thanksgiving movies list because there's not many of those,
Those,
obviously.
yes.
But we talked about it quite a bit. John Candy, Steve Martin, two of the great comedy legends, and directed by John Hughes, another great John Hughes movie. And the whole movie, Steve trying to get back to his family for Thanksgiving, and John Candy and him just get into all kinds of hijinks. It's rated R just for the one scene where Steve Martin is cursing out the lady from Ferris Bueller at the car rental place because he just loses it at that point. Like 20 F-bombs in a row or something like that. But so many great scenes, the "these aren't pillows" classic scene, and it's got a lot of heart to it as
Yeah,
well.
when they're sharing the bed.
Right. Yep. And yeah, so had to have it.
Yeah, it was also like a heartwarming film too,
Yeah.
because uh, you know, uh, they didn't really like each other,
Right.
and they only were doing this because of convenience.
Exactly. But then they become friends, and yeah, it is really kind of a buddy movie,
Yeah,
basically. So okay, cool. Well, what's your number 5?
my number 5, and I believe we already discussed this one too.
Yeah.
The Untouchables.
Yeah, I think we did on the Sean Connery episode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kevin
Good pick.
Costner, Sean Connery, Robert De Niro, Andy Garcia.
Yeah, great cast.
Yeah, and great director Brian De Palma.
Yep, definitely one of his best.
Right, and this is set during Prohibition era in the United States, obviously,
Yep.
and the whole thing is they're out to get Capone.
Played by De Niro. A
Yeah,
little over the top De Niro performance, but it's
yeah,
great.
yeah. So he enlists some people uh, because the Chicago Police Department is also corrupt.
Right.
So he's got to be very careful who he picks and stuff. And he picked Sean Connery, as his second. And then they got somebody just fresh out of the police academy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And but yeah, it had like tons of classic lines.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, the most notable one, and I'm gonna have to read it because
Is this a Connery line?
yeah, this is a Connery line.
Yeah.
This is when they said, it said to Connery it's going to be they had to get Capone, and he
Right.
goes, "You want to know how to get Capone? They
Yeah.
pull a knife, you pull a gun. He
Yeah.
sends one of yours to the hospital. You
You
send
send one of his to the morgue.
That's the Chicago way."
Yeah, I love that line. And the way he delivers it is just so classic. What
Yeah, he goes, and that's how you get Capone.
yeah.
Now, do you want to do that? Are you ready to do that? I'm offering you a deal. Do you want this done?
Yeah. And
Yeah,
then the whole recurring thing of what are you prepared to do? I think
yeah,
his very
right.
last line in the movie.
Yeah,
Didn't he win Best Supporting Actor for this movie?
yes,
I
he
think
did win. He won Best Supporting Actor
yeah.
in the movie, and actually, uh,
Yeah.
oh
Gr-
yeah, and the this is for you
Mhm.
that they were playing music by Duke Ellington during the movie.
Ah, yes, that makes sense.
Do
Yeah,
you
yeah.
remember that? Yeah.
Yeah,
Grossed 106.2 million.
yep. Yeah, great movie, and yeah, it's very suspenseful moments throughout, like that scene in the train station where the baby crib is like going down the stairs and the shootout is about to happen uh, with Garcia and Kevin Costner. Costner was great in this too.
Yeah,
One of his
and,
first leading
yeah,
roles.
and Costner would get really pissed off when something happens to Connery.
Yeah, yeah, and I can't remember the actor's name, but he was in American Graffiti. The guy with the glasses, the bookkeeper.
Yeah, the
Uh,
bookkeeper.
he's
Yeah,
great too.
yeah,
Yeah, all the
yeah,
characters are really good.
yeah. So they couldn't get him for for breaking prohibition, so they
Yeah,
got him for tax evasion.
yeah, exactly. So, yep, classic movie. Good choice. Very good choice. Didn't make my list, but there were so many great movies this in
Yeah,
'87.
I know. It was like
So,
any one of any one of my top five could have
mhm.
been number one
Yeah.
on my list.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, pretty much same for me. Although this for my number four, you would not agree. And I this is one of my favorite sequels of all time, and it's Evil Dead 2.
You warned me about this.
Yes, yes. And I know you haven't seen it.
Definitely have not seen it.
But yeah, it's Sam Raimi made a sequel to his classic horror movie, The Evil Dead, called Evil Dead 2 Dead by Dawn. And it's basically just a different version of the same movie that is kind of half horror, half comedy. It's very just ridiculous, over the top, like slapstick comedy mixed with horror. Bruce Campbell plays the main character who, at one point, his hand gets chopped off and his own hand is trying to kill him. And then he replaces his hand with a chainsaw so he can kill other ghosts and stuff in this haunted house. And it's just one ridiculous thing after another. But it's so fun. It's like a cartoon, really, for adults, basically.
Yeah. It almost sounds like Zombieland too.
Yeah, yeah. I would imagine Zombieland was influenced by this movie for sure, as probably many other things were. But yeah, the side characters are funny. There's this guy in overalls screaming out for this girl named Bobby Joe. Where are you, girl? It's, oh man, it's so great.
I'm sure Abigail would have liked to have seen it.
Probably, yes. Yeah, you should have add that to the list for next time, because it's just a messed up movie, man. So what's your number four?
My number four is one of my all-time favorite romantic comedies,
Okay.
Moonstruck.
Ah, yes, another good one.
Had a great cast also. Cher,
Hmm.
Nicolas Cage, Olympia Dukakis, Danny Aiello.
Yep. Yeah, and they were all great in that. Danny Aiello playing like the stupid guy that
Yeah,
pr-
Johnny. You know,
yeah,
the guy that proposed to her,
right,
but then he had to go to Italy because his mother was dying.
right, right. So then she falls in love with the brother, Nicolas Cage.
Yes, reluctantly falls in love with him
Right,
because she didn't want anything to do with him because she was engaged to his brother.
right. Yeah.
Right. And Nicolas Cage was like angry at his brother because he was blaming him that he got distracted and he lost his hand.
I lost my hand. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so
So
he's
great.
wearing this wooden hand and stuff too. So
Yeah,
uh,
he's the butcher, right?
right. So you know, he didn't give up and stuff like that. But I
Yeah,
mean, it had a lot of funny stuff in it.
yeah.
And Dukakis won uh, Best Supporting
Supporting
Actress.
actress. Yeah.
Cher won Best Actor.
Oh wow, I didn't realize that. Yeah, I mean she was great in it, and
Yeah,
yeah, it's a cute movie. Like the whole the song "That's Amore," that when the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie or whatever. Yeah,
Right, and Dukakis through the whole movie was asking people, why do men cheat?
Yeah, right.
And like they
Yeah.
would give her an answer. She goes, I think it's because they don't want to die, or something like that to that effect.
Right, right. Yeah, but so yeah,
And
her
then
husband blames it
and
on the
then at the
moon.
end,
Yeah.
Johnny gave her the right answer.
What was it? I don't remember.
Yeah, she said to Johnny, why do men
Yeah.
cheat? And he goes, because they don't want to die.
That was it. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah,
stupid.
then,
Yeah.
the old man cheating,
Right. Right.
right? And then, they were at the opera,
Yeah.
and she's with Nicolas Cage, and they see each other,
Right. Right.
and then they go over, and then they make a deal that they never saw each other here.
Yeah. Right. And then there's the grandfather with the dogs and
Oh yeah,
stuff.
the
And yeah.
grandfather with the dog and stuff
Yeah.
like that. He doesn't really say that much. He
Right.
just gives you a look.
Right. Yeah. And that's all
Yeah,
you got to say. Yeah. Great movie. I know. Yeah. It taps into the Italian culture in a cool way.
yeah, like they invite everybody to breakfast, to
Yeah.
dinner and stuff like that.
Yeah. It's
I
great.
mean, there was all these situations
Yeah.
that were like really good and funny.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, good pick. Okay, so my number 3, I don't know if this will be on your list either. This is great. We're having a lot of different movies
I
on this
know
one.
this is going to be
Uh,
hard.
it's The Lost Boys. The
That did
another
not make my list. But yes, we watched that many times.
yeah, another horror slash comedy movie. I guess that genre was really taking off that year. Directed by Joel Schumacher, has a great cast of mostly younger actors: Jason Patric, Kiefer Sutherland, another great villain role for him as the teenage vampire. Basically, this whole community is getting savaged by teenage vampires in this fake town, Santa Carla. And Corey Haim and his family are new in town, and he meets up with Corey Feldman and the other guy, the Frog Brothers, and they're the comedy aspect of the movie. But then, Sutherland and his band of vampires are actually pretty scary in the movie, I have to say. So there's a good mixture, and it works out great. And there's cool music. Echo and the Bunnymen doing covers of The Doors, People Are Strange, and stuff like that. So it was like a good stylistic movie for the times.
Yeah, that was a good pick. Yeah.
Over the top ending too, like when there's vampires like getting exploding and imploding and all kinds of stuff. So for a 9-year-old kid, that was made quite an impression on me at the time.
I know, and yet the ending of Raiders scared you.
Right. Yeah, I was just a few years off with that, I guess. At this point, I was ready to just see all kinds of gore. But yeah, okay. What's your number 3?
My number 3, Lethal Weapon.
The first
Mel
one.
Gibson, Danny Glover, and Gary Busey as the villain.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he was the villain. Yeah.
Yeah. Director was Richard Donner.
Yep.
Made 20 million versus 15 million
to
produce it.
Okay.
It spawned 3 sequels.
Yeah, I actually like the second one better than the first.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah,
but this still had to make my list.
Okay. Yeah, I mean Mel Gibson, that role as Riggs.
I mean, this set the whole thing up, where he was a Green Beret, and he also was upset that his wife died.
Right. Yeah.
So this is like 3 years after his wife died, and he's got suicidal tendencies.
Right. This is the one where he jumps off the building with the guy handcuffed to him, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, he did a lot of wacky stuff because, you know, he didn't care about living anymore.
Right.
So, and the thing is, Glover is like playing like a 50-year-old, you know, cop that's
Mhm.
getting ready to retire, and
Yeah.
now he's stuck with this crazy wacko
Yeah.
as his partner. So they didn't get along, and he was like always, you know, putting Gibson down and stuff like that.
Right.
So
Yeah, they were a great team.
at the end they become friends. But yeah, it was all about busting a drug ring.
Right, right. Yeah, as most of the sequels would be kind of the similar scenario, but then adding characters like Joe Pesci, he was my favorite part of the Lethal
Yeah,
Weapon
right.
series. But
Never go
yeah,
to a drive-in. You get
yeah.
they start to never go to a drive-in.
Exactly, yeah. So great. So okay, that's cool. Good pick. I don't blame you for that one. So yeah, I'm interested to see if we'll have anything in common, but I think my number two may also be either your two or one, and it is Good Morning Vietnam.
Yes, that's my number two also.
All right, our first in common. Yeah,
Yes.
classic.
So now this is going to be number one.
It very well could be, yeah. Yeah, classic, man. Robin Williams, one of his best performances, just very well suited to his stand-up comedy, basically. That him doing that on a radio show based on a real life person, Adrian Cronauer, who was this radio DJ in Vietnam. And the movie has a lot of heart to it as well, and really touches on some real drama. Directed by Barry Levinson, and it's great. Got some great side actors too. J.T. Walsh as the Sergeant Major Dickerson, Forrest Whitaker as his friend in the movie, and then Bruno Kirby is great as the lieutenant, who's like such an idiot that they all make fun of. So yeah, I mean, so many quotable lines throughout the
Yeah,
thing.
and actually I do have a couple.
Okay. Yeah, let's hear it.
Just to give our viewers
Yeah.
a little bit of, and I can't do him justice the way he says it, but
Right, of course.
yeah, one of them was, excuse me, sir, seeing how the VP is such a VIP, shouldn't we keep the PC on the QT? Because if it leaks to the VC, he could end up MIA, and then we'd all be put on KP.
That's one of the best. And that whole scene, like right after he says that, the guy gets pissed off and leaves the room, and then they all just start laughing at him, and then they start impersonating him, going, "And if you do, and if you do," so great, man. I love it.
He goes, how can you fight a war in this shit? I don't know where they are. I don't even know where I am. I can't see dick. Like hunting with Ray Charles.
Yeah, right. When he's lost in the jungle. Yeah. Oh man, like when he's teaching the class English and he's just teaching them how to curse, basically. It's
Right. He was teaching them English slang.
Yeah. I love there's that one guy that's like way too nice, and he's putting him in this fake situation. He's like, "This girl spills soup all over you. What are you gonna do about it?" And he's like, "I do nothing." And then then he says, "Well, now she's stabbing you and she's putting forks in your eyes. What are you gonna do?" And he goes, "I'm waiting to die." It's just great, man. And then when he's doing the weather on the radio, when he's like, "What is the weather today? It's damn hot, and then tomorrow is going to be hot and wet." It's just great.
I know. I was going to do like that whole opening one that he did, you know, with the where he was doing the records and he was putting the records in what he was saying
at
and
the
stuff
wrong
like
speed
that.
and stuff.
But
Yeah.
it was like too long.
Oh,
and then here's another one. Here's a new flash. Today, President Lyndon Johnson passed a highway beautification bill. The bill basically said that his daughter cannot drive in a convertible on public highways.
Yeah, so many great lines. Like, I mean, you almost have to pause and rewind the movie at certain
I
points
know,
just to catch up with him
I
because
know.
he was so fast, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And
classic.
the movie was based on the experiences of the real Cranauer.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, which he was basically like you know, a hero in a way of, you know, just lifting these people's spirits and uh
Right.
yeah, really really cool and profound at times movie. So
Yeah,
yeah,
he was lucky he made friends with the Vietnam guy, the
right.
brother of the girl he was trying to get
Yeah,
with.
otherwise he could have been ended up killed by a
Yeah,
bomb, you know. So yeah, the bar fight scene is great too. I mean, it's so much great stuff. We could go on and on about this one.
I know.
But
Yeah, I mean, the whole movie was like that. You
yeah,
know, we just did like a small excerpt of this.
it's one of my favorite Vietnam movies, which I'll go ahead and tell you my honorable mention now because that goes very hand in hand with this. It's Full Metal Jacket, another great Vietnam movie.
Yeah, I
With
mean,
it,
there was a lot of movies that are really great movies that won't even be on our top five. And so
yeah,
far, you know, we did seven.
right. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, but yeah, Full Metal Jacket almost made my list, but it's not one that, you know, it doesn't have the repeat value that Good Morning Vietnam does because there's really not much humor in it, and if there is,
yeah,
it's very dark. but but it was a great movie too. I mean, just
yeah,
so much memorable. I mean, that scene with the guy that you know, shoots himself in the bathroom because he just can't take it anymore. The whole first half of the movie with the drill sergeant, just it's pretty brutal, man. And
yeah. I
then
mean, this was like probably the first one
mhm,
where it showed like, you know, really actual hard to watch scenes.
right.
And then every war movie after this, it just got worse and worse and worse.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
But
more graphic.
yeah. But yeah, I'm surprised actually looking at my list now that it didn't make my top five because it's one of my favorite Kubrick movies, which is pretty, that's saying something too. But
Yeah.
what was your, before we get to our number one, what was your honorable mention?
My honorable mention was Dirty Dancing.
Ah, okay. Yeah, that was actually, for what it was, that was a really good one too. Yeah.
Yeah, Patrick Swayze, Jennifer Grey,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
uh, Jerry Orbach, you know, to name a few.
Right.
Uh, yeah, so you know, it was a movie about uh, family spending summer in the Catskills,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, and Gray's character, you know, fell in love with Patrick Swayze, who was the dance coordinator for the thing. So it
Yeah.
gave you you know, a look at like how those places are operated
Right.
and
Yeah.
stuff. But I mean, the best scene obviously was the last scene in the movie.
Yeah, where they do the big dance move and yeah, it was a good romance movie, and of course the soundtrack was went on to be huge. I mean,
Right.
yeah, with great, you know, 50 songs mixed in with modern songs of the day as well.
Yeah.
Even
Now, the
Swayze
big
had a
one.
track on there too.
Yeah, the big one
Yeah.
I've had the time of my life.
Right, right, yeah.
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 Uh, yeah. So there was one sequel,
Hmm.
and then there was a made-for-TV remake in 2017.
Right, right.
So you know, it wasn't you know, nothing to sneeze about. I mean, it was
Yeah.
a big movie.
Oh, for
Made
sure.
$214 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am not sure what your number one is going to be now, because
Not not to mention
yeah,
how many millions of dollars of records that it sold.
yeah,
Oh,
right,
so
indeed. So, okay, wait. Now I think I know what your number one might be. But okay, so mine, which I'm sure yours is not this, is Raising Arizona.
yes, that's not mine.
Okay. Well,
And
I'll talk. Yeah.
I know that you love that movie.
Oh, yeah. I mean, talk
Yeah,
about repeat value. I've probably seen this movie just like Ferris Bueller on last week's episode a million times.
right.
Uh,
Nicolas Cage was in this, wasn't he?
Yeah, Nicolas Cage
Yeah,
was like such a breakout star this year between Moonstruck and this.
yeah,
This directed by the Coen brothers. There's really not another movie like it. I mean, uh, it's been compared to, I'll say again, like the Evil Dead 2. It's almost like a cartoon because like the action is just so over the top. And I think even Nicolas Cage said that he based his character High, is his name, H.I. McDonough, on the Roadrunner from Warner Brothers cartoons, which makes sense with his hair sticking straight up and everything. And just his character is so ridiculous. He just, keeps going in and out of jail because he's robbing gas stations left and right. And then he falls in love with Holly Hunter, who she's the cop named Ed. And then they decide they want to have a baby, but they can't have one, so they steal one from this guy who had sextuplets. So they figure, they won't miss this kid. So it's such a bizarre movie. And then it's got the great John Goodman as one of these other guys getting out of prison, and just so many great lines. I mean, there's this whole thing where he's in prison just listening to this guy talk, and it's something like when we had no meat, we ate frog, and when we had no frog, we ate crawdad, and when there was no crawdad to be found, we ate sand. You ate what? We ate sand. You ate sand? That's right. So great. I mean, that's the kind of dialogue that's throughout the whole movie. And
yeah. I mean, I saw it like when it first came out, and I really don't remember it.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So you brought back some good memories on the time.
Uh,
I'm gonna have to watch it again one of these days.
you got to, especially, yeah, the chase scene is one of the best chase scenes of all time when he decides just on a whim to rob a gas station again. When he went in there to get diapers for the baby, and he goes, I'll be taking these Huggies and whatever cash you got, as he's holding a gun on the guy. And then there's like cops chasing him, dogs chasing him. He's wearing a stocking on his head, and he opens the car door to this guy, and he goes, "Son, you got a panty on your head." It's just so great, man. I love it. So, okay, what is your number one? I have an idea what it is.
Go ahead. What do you think it is?
Is it does it have Michael Douglas in it?
Now,
Oh, okay. Okay. Then I'm not sure what
I'll
it
give you
is.
a hint.
All right.
As you wish.
Okay. Princess Bride.
Yes.
Another great one, man.
Yeah. A great cast also. Carrie Ellis, Robin Wright, Andre the Giant, Peter Falk, Billy Crystal, Fred Savage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All great.
And
And
the thing is, this didn't do well in the movies when
right.
it came out, but it's become a cult classic.
Oh yeah.
I have seen this movie so many times.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. And I mean, talk about cult classic. I actually know someone that proposed to his wife after watching this and dressing up as Pirate Roberts. And
Yeah, did you really?
yeah. Classic. So
I mean,
yeah.
it had like all these names that were in there. I mean, like
Yeah.
Princess Buttercup,
Yeah.
Prince Humperdinck,
Yeah. Right.
Dread Pirate Roberts,
Yep.
and then the trio of Vizzini, Fezzik, and Inigo
Montoya, who
Yeah,
says, "You killed my father. Prepare to die."
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was classic. He just kept saying that.
Yeah.
He was after the six-fingered man.
Right. Right. Andre the Giant was really great in this too.
Yeah, right.
As the giant, and then I love the whole pretty much like opening sequence when they're going through all the tests on these mountains, and then he has to do the drinking poison contest with the guy who
Right.
supposedly is really smart. uh that whole thing is great.
Yeah, it was all these contests, and then he was
Yeah.
challenged to a duel by Montoya,
Hmm.
and wins and stuff like that.
Right.
But then more of these names: the impressive clergyman, the albino,
Yeah.
the ancient booer,
Uh-huh.
Miracle Max,
Yeah, you're bringing
the,
all this back. I haven't seen it in a long
the
time.
cliffs of insanity,
Yeah, right.
the fire swamp,
Oh yeah, with
the
those huge
pit,
rats. Yeah.
yeah, the the pit of despair.
Right. What about the guy at the end that's doing the marriage ceremony and he says
Yeah,
marriage?
yeah, that was the impressive clergyman.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, they did the wedding thing, right?
Right, right.
And then uh, and then Yue's character, he was like tortured to death.
Right.
When they brought them to Miracle Max, Miracle Max said, "Oh, I can bring him back because he's just mostly dead."
Right, right, right. That was Billy Crystal, right? It was Miracle
Yeah, it was
Max.
Billy
Yeah,
Crystal, right?
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, another great I don't mean to get on off uh topic here, but there were so many good movies in 87. I thought that we might also mention Throw Mama from the Train, which was another great Billy Crystal
Right.
and Danny DeVito movie. And then I thought your number one was going to be Wall Street, because I know you love that one too.
No, it didn't even make my list, but yeah,
Yeah.
that was another great movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Indeed. Yeah.
I
So
mean,
many great ones.
there was so many really, really good movies that year.
Yep.
It was like,
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Well, I remember we did a triple feature at Pop Pop's Theater. We in one day we saw Moonstruck, Three Men and a Baby, and Good Morning Vietnam. So two
Right,
movies that made our list.
right.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
two of them. I think this is the first time that we didn't have the same first movie, number
yeah,
one movie.
I know. So I think it looks like since Good Morning Vietnam was both our number twos and our only one in common, we should probably make that number one.
Yeah, I would think so. You're going to be
Okay.
doing a lot of looking up.
Yeah, I know. So now we got to look at Raising Arizona versus The Princess Bride.
And
I
Princess Bride was 4.1.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah,
Okay. Raising Arizona.
you can check it just to make sure.
No, I believe you. Okay, so that beats Raising Arizona is only a 3.8. So Princess Bride at 2 and Raising Arizona at 3. So now it's between Lethal Weapon and The Lost Boys. Interesting.
Weapon was 3.7.
Wow, you're on it here.
No, I looked them up ahead of time.
Very smart. Oh, wow. You beat me again. Lost Boys is a 3.6.
Really? It's that high?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't think so. All right.
It's a beloved movie. So it does make the top 5 barely.
Yeah, barely.
So the ones that don't make it are Moonstruck and Untouchables, both
Right.
Academy Award nominated movies.
And Moonstruck was 3.7. And do I have the one for? Yeah, the Untouchables was 3.7 also.
Okay. All right.
And Dirty Dancing with 3.6. So all
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
high numbers.
For sure, yeah. All right, well, let's read off our official list. The best movies, according to us, for
That's right, that we like.
1987 are at number 5, The Lost Boys. At number 4, Lethal Weapon. At number 3, Raising Arizona. At number 2, The Princess Bride. And at number 1, Good Morning Vietnam. Yeah.
Yes.
Good list. Yeah, I had to mention too, you know, like I said with the Goonies, Mikey and Kimmy and I would always act that out. The Lost Boys, we did even more. Like we would, I don't remember how much of the movie we would act out, but we just loved that thing and quote it all the
Yeah, I
time.
mean, I saw the movie a couple of times, probably maybe 3, probably mostly with you. I don't remember ever seeing it, you know,
Right.
not without you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so I knew that you like really like that movie and stuff.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad
Yeah.
it made the final list. So, very good. Well, man, 88, I'm sure, I don't know if it was as good as 87, but we'll see what makes it.
Yeah, I mean, this is just the beginning of all the hits that are coming out every year. I
Yeah.
mean, they were just getting better and better, you know, better special effects.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah, 87 was a big year for a lot of things. I mean, in music, you had U2's biggest album, The Joshua Tree, Guns N' Roses, Appetite for Destruction. Just a big year in popular culture. So, all right, guys, we'll tune in next time for 88.
oh,
And
by the way, our number one,
yes,
Good Morning Vietnam was a 3.6.
really, I
So
thought it
yeah,
would be
a
higher.
lot of movies came before that, you know, and they
Interesting.
were only 3.7s. I mean, it's only a 0.1 between them, but
Crazy. Man, I want to go watch that now. That's such a good one.
yeah,
Well, all right. Well, we'll see you on the next episode. Be sure to like, subscribe, and all that. And we'll see you then. Love you.
love you too.
All right. Bye.
Bye.